Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hump Day. We've got a few emails to go through today, so we'll start with those. So I have this one, which is Aussie Swiss. Lower highs, lower lows, below the moving averages, yes. Resistance, yes. Horizontal resistance, yes. RSI convergence, yes. There's actually divergence there, so that's even better. What that green line is. You've got your fib from here to here. I think it'd be better to have it from up here, and it's coming off the 382. Personally, support levels in the way. We have bearish price action because this is now lower high, lower low. Fib retracement resistance, yes. No sideways price action. Well, there was, but I understand what you're trying to say. Previous cycle below the 50, yes. Okay, that's all very good. You haven't given a point to convergence, but what we're seeing here is divergence, and this is whilst we're getting higher highs, and we're not getting the higher high in RSI, that's actually a bearish signal, and obviously we're looking to be bears around here, so that's okay. So that's what we'd like to see. So your risk reward is 1 to 5. That's good. Not sure what you've done with the calculator there, buffer, what that means, but it's all fabulous. It's good, good analysis. And Aussie Swiss is bearish there and made a lower low. It's probably triggered some people in. So you can see there I've got my Fibonacci from there to there, from this complete cycle, and it's finding resistance at the 382. And you could say, that's a couple of pips away. That's 16, and the high was 15 pips away. That's effectively resistance as well. So that's good stuff. The next one that came in, Euro Aussie, placed this trade. Okay. Risk is 186 pips. Yeah, it's going to be a big one because this is such a large bar. Higher highs, bounced off this double top here. That's good, which is your support line above the EMAs, off the 50. Your Fibonacci is incorrect. Okay. Your Fibonacci should be looking for support off these orange ones, which are your retracements. Right? I think this is the same person who's had this problem before. This is your extensions. Okay, and these are your retracements. So what you need to be seeing is bouncing off like that. Okay, so there you can see I've drawn my Fibonacci there. Okay, which is from here to the top, and here's my retracements, my 382 and the 50. Could even potentially, although I'd prefer not to have it there, like the Aussie Swiss, I don't think this is a phase 2. You could even potentially have that there, although I'd have the whole move, which is this. Started here and away she went, and so we're finding support on the 382. Okay, so this Fibonacci here, we use the extensions for our phase 2 trading, not for continuation. I don't know what these trend lines are. I don't know what that is either. But saying resistance, you've given it a 0 because you're noticing that as resistance. That's a good thing to do. And you keep an eye on it to see what happens there, because it looks almost like a double top as well, something like this. So just be careful with your Fibonacci's, okay? Go back to the book if you need to review them. CAD Yen. CAD Yen has been bouncing off the 200 EMA. Yes, it has. And is that a valid reason for entry? Yes, it is. With our checklist, what we're looking for, sorry, I'm just looking at that Fibonacci. On our checklist, whilst we don't give it a point for being, it's only above one of the moving averages, we can give it a point for being bouncing off the 200. And as you suggest, it's been bouncing off that 200 for quite some time. Yep. Ding, 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 ding. It is a good, I use the 200 more as a support resistance line than for cyclicity. But we can see that it effectively does that, and if we get more buying in the bar today, then there's a potential trade there for tomorrow. Okay? You can't hear what I'm saying. I do. I've gone over this. It's not much I can do about it. So you'll just need to wait for the sound. You'll need to wait for the video to come out. I apologise for being so late last night, but I'll send this one out in an hour or so. Okay. Aussie Swiss swing high. Someone else is looking at this. I took this trade for the fund. Couldn't take it from my account because I've already got CAD Swiss short, which is this. I'll come to that when I get there. Wait up, one thing at a time. So this is, yes, a cycle underneath. This double bottom is a bit of support which I'd be concerned about, which is similar to the Euro Aussie double top. Horizontal resistance, yeah, this double bottom before. Okay, you've given that everything and you've gone in with 0.5%, that's good. And you're targeting 76.55 down here. As a 1 to 3. I like your risk reward, but be careful of what it's going to do when it gets to this bottom here. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. Otherwise, yep, all very good. And you're most likely in the trade today because it's 75. It's traded at 75 today. The low being 74. Okay. I found that the Aussie dollar, the pound Aussie, and dollar yen had reward to risk of less than 2, so I picked the ones that I thought were the best trades for me and also staying within my risk profile. My current CAD Swiss has a stop set giving a profit, so I'm ignoring it as far as risk is concerned. I'll not be able to hear you, so I'll listen to the recording. Okay. What have we got here? This is Aussie Swiss. Yep. Convergence. Resistance line. There's your target around there. Again, I'll just be wary of this double bottom here. You've got the fib in the... Have you gone the long or the larger one? That's interesting. Okay. That sort of resistance zone. That's all right. That works for me. This one doesn't really work for me off this high, but that one, yeah, I can see that being the larger move. I went off this one, which is the start of the phase or the cycle. Either one works. Hidden divergence. That's what you're showing there. Okay, yeah. Bullish hidden divergence or bearish hidden divergence. That's good. It's good stuff. Swiss yen. Okay, so double up Swiss. I've got a thing on there that shows me what my Swiss is, doesn't it? Is that control P? No. Control P. No. Control R. No. Can't remember what it was now. So it was control R risk. I have to remember what that was, but yeah, you just doubled up on Swiss of the. I know you're aware of that. 1%. Horizontal support on this. It is. I can't remember if it was strong. I think it was a soft one. I've got this one here, which is a soft one. If we go to the weekly or the monthly, it's not going to show it on MetaTrader. You go to eSignal, there's not much support around here, so it is a weaker one. We've just been tagged in, unfortunately, and it's now reversed on us, but early days yet. I do see yen continuing to weaken. So I notice you reached 1% on this. I've gone a little less because of there's not a strong support there, but everything else is in there, so that's good. Hidden divergence. Yep. Same as the Aussie Swiss, this one. It's that same thing upside down. So remember, you again, you've gone 1% on Euro Aussie and 1% on Aussie Swiss and 1% on Swiss yen. So Aussie Swiss and Euro Aussie, the same trade effectively, and the Euro yen and Euro and Swiss yen are the same trade. And I notice you've got one of those as well. So you've got something here called risk profile. So you've got 2% yen, 2% Aussie, 2% Euro, 2% Swiss. As long as you're comfortable with that, I'm glad you've got this. This is brilliant, and this shows that your risk profile. I think it's fabulous. CAD. Okay, 0, yeah. That's good. This analysis, you've got bearish or bullish divergence, Class A divergence here, which you've noted, and you've got bullish hidden divergence, which you've noted, and everything else is there. Double tops here that it's bounced off. Again, that's similar to Aussie Swiss, so it's all good. The last one, the Euro Yen. Hidden divergence, yeah. Target up here. Should retracement support. Okay, you've gone from that to that. That's a fair call because that's where it stopped at, and that was 382. Yeah. I think on this one there was a support line somewhere. Okay, I've got my support line down there, we're miles away, which is these highs. Okay, it's all good. Good analysis, and I like your understanding of your risk profile and being careful of that. Aussie Swiss. again, this is the same gentleman with your Fibonacci's. You're getting them wrong. Your Aussie Swiss Fibonacci is from there to there, or as this other gentleman has just done or shown us, from that move there. Okay, I've gone from here, which is the start of the selling, for this particular, when it broke the previous range, it was in a range there for a while. It broke the previous range on this, and that's when I've gone. What you've got is upside down. Again, I don't understand what these red and blue ones are, but you probably do, so it's okay. British Award 13. Oh, geez, I'd like to get that. That'd be fabulous. Okay, so the red is showing something that's convergent. A bit of divergence across these bottoms here, and divergence, Class A divergence here as well. Lower highs, below resistance, yes. Horizontal resistance, yes. Convergence. Well, there is, but you haven't noted it on this in your analysis. Bearish price action, yes. Fib retracement resistance. Well, there is, if you draw it properly. Trendline resistance. Not really. If you link these highs and that high, you're going to miss it. So you said no, that's good. Bearish chart pattern. Don't know what that, you've given it a point. Not sure what for. And seasonal bearish. Yeah, well, I'd have to check the equity clock for that. And your Euro Yen. The question was, this is my preference for a few trades that are available against the yen. In your opinion, how did it compare to those against the US and the Swiss? Well, I'll go and have a look at those in a second. But your Fibonacci's, mate, you've got to fix them up. Okay. I didn't see the Euro Yen. I see the Euro Yen having a support line worthy of the bounce. Okay, this is your support line. It didn't get there. Yeah. The Swiss Yen. I had this one, and it's bouncing off this. If you look at Swiss Yen, yeah, there you can see my stop is actually 5 pips underneath that. You just can't see it, and that's my support line. The dollar yen, if you wanted to compare that to the dollar yen, it's even better in that you could say that support there, or if you come off this one here, just missed that one. But you could say this one here, this high, and this Euro Yen doesn't have that, okay? And so we're tested that and come back through it. And then your Fibonacci from this one didn't quite get there. If you looked at this one here, came off the 618. So I think the Euro Yen was probably the weaker of the two. Even the Pound Yen, I think, was better. Didn't quite come back to these highs here, but there's, I think the Pound Yen is, it should be, if you draw a Fibonacci from this to the here. Down to here, there's lows. That's the low. Right, so if we look at that, there's your support line. Okay, so again, I think the euro yen was probably the weakest of the lot. Although looking at that, which I haven't drawn, you could say that's your support line. Swiss yen. You have to go and check your thing out. So that looks okay, and when you draw that Fibonacci, doesn't it? Bounced off that, the 618. If we draw the same on the US, $618's holding it down. Yep. So the pound yen was probably the pick of the yen crosses. Okay, so that's all the emails. So let's go to charts. Aussie CAD. Little interest. I think it's just a dangerous one to try and trade at this stage. Back to that 50 EMA. I prefer to see that cycle and bounce off there before trying to take that trade. So obviously resistance across here, these tops, but I think it's a low probability trade. Okay. Aussie Swiss. This is one of the ones I put in the list today. Looking good. As I said, I can't trade it because I've already got CAD Swiss on and the Swiss yen, and that I did not want to have 3 trades against the Swiss. So I did not take this one. But that is the ideal, this or the Euro Aussie, which is the same, effectively the same trade, is the option. Yeah. Aussie yen, zero interest, just going nowhere. Aussie Kiwi got nailed overnight. You could say it's cycling along the 20. Is there much left on the downside? I doubt it. Not in this move. Your risk reward, if you're looking at there, it's 1-to-1, and that's, I don't think it's strong enough. You can find better trades. Aussie Sing. Now that we've got, now that we have this seller bar today, there is a potential trade there for tomorrow in the Aussie Sing. This is just an inside bar, we don't trade on that, but now we've got the selling momentum coming in here, so that's starting to look good. Aussie US I did take, okay, so we have this swing high here. I've got this horizontal, which is a weak one. You can see that's the monthly, there's not many turnarounds on that. It's a reasonably weak mark, and that's because it's just a 90-50. But you could say that there was a couple of support lines across here. Got the my stop's just above 91 cents. We had this ring high, a lower high, lower low, and we're looking to take this short. Don't know if I've got a target on it. I don't. CAD Swiss, I'm trading this on the 4 hour. And so I went in underneath this bar. This is a higher high, higher low. My stop is now above that. And this is a higher high and a higher low. Low's 82.34. Technically it is. My stop should be above that. So what I'll do is, because that is a higher high, higher low, I will move my stop to break even. Now that it's a break even, I'll just let it run. Looking at the daily though, that looks pretty good. From the daily perspective, your targeting should be down, yeah, as you can see there's my target is in between the 1.618 and the 2. We'll see how that goes. CAD yen, yeah, it's bounced off the 200. You'd want to see, if you go from that move, the last time it bounced off the 200, you want to see it back above this in a higher high and a higher low with some buying interest. Yeah, this inside bar is not enough to warrant a trade just yet. Swiss yen, I'm looking to trade this. I'm in it by freaking half a pip or something by crossing the spread. And I think I've got a target as 3-1 on this, 3 times my risk. We'll monitor that and see how that goes. They're still there for you guys if you want to trade this. Obviously your entry is above the high of this bar, this swing low, and looking to take this as a trend continuation phase 1. Similarly with this one might have already bolted. But there was an opportunity, and that's why I emailed it out to you guys this morning. Okay. Now you'd have to put a limit order and wait for it to come back down and get those filled. EuroCAD. EuroCAD is getting up into the sell zone. Still no divergence yet. So we'll be patient and wait for that. Okay. Euro Swiss. I personally don't like this. I think it's range bound and going nowhere, so I'd rather avoid it. I know there's some certain people, or there was a trade call came out of K2A, but literally I don't see this as anything worth trading. Yes, there was a cycle there, but the big resistance up here, big resistance around here, 24. Yep, and you're just getting caught up in the heat of the moment. Because it's a swing low and all the moving averages are crossed. Well, I don't think that's worthy of a trade just yet. It's literally just going sideways, as you can see by the 200 EMA. This one looks like a trade for tomorrow. So we can see that there's a bit of resistance there. We've got the 50 EMA, we've got the well, effectively the 618 or the 786. We now see selling pressure, lower highs, lower lows, and there is a trade there for potentially tomorrow morning. Euro yen. Went through this. If we get a look at this monthly fib, that's a brilliant monthly fib. You can see it broke through this and it's now support. That's a 61.8. RSI is converging. So RSI is converging. If we get our other fib from here, hasn't quite got there, but that's looking good to take off. Might not get to the 786 in this move, but get a few pips out of it. Zero interest in this as well. The Kiwi's going nowhere, and I don't like any of the Kiwi crosses. Euro dollar also going nowhere. The US dollar's got pretty strong today. So it's, you just see it chopping around, and the 50 starting to flatline. Just don't see anything in it yet, and I'd rather not put my money behind it. Pound Aussie is looking good. See that resistance line there is now support. Bounced off that, the 50, the 382, and all looking pretty honky-dory. Pound CAD. Now, what we do have here is divergence. We're in the sell zone, or we're actually above the sell zone, and we've got divergence. All we need to see is a couple of days of selling. So if we be patient, we'll have a stop there. Let's say we get in around here. That's 280 pips. If we get in there, that's 300 or 400 pips. So 1.5, basically. I prefer 1 to 2, but minimum 1.5. Depends on how much selling that comes in, but get some selling, and you've now got the divergence in the momentum. It's either this one, the pound Swiss, or the euro pound. You need to make a choice on that. I prefer the euro pound than this one. I've already got enough Swiss exposure, but there is a potential trade there for tomorrow if you like that. Let's discuss this one. I think is another good trade. It's what they call clusters, Fibonacci cluster there. If this bar is a higher high, higher low by the close of business, there's a trade there for tomorrow. Gone from one range to a new range. Big resistance there. support there. Sort of in the middle of it, aren't we? If you're looking at the weekly, it's just going nowhere. Yes, this bounce off the 200 looks attractive. I think you'd get caught in that though. Again, it's a Kiwi cross, and none of them look attractive at all. Pound is against the US, is struggling to do anything. Literally, you've got an inside bar and another inside bar. It's just a mess. And whilst I'm bullish pound, I'd rather leave that alone. We've got quite a lot of resistance. That's support at the moment. There's your biggest support. You look at it like that, do you really want to be getting long? No. Excuse me. Got a bit of a tear on overnight. That's yen weakness yesterday. On the back of their current account deficit or trade gap. More than anything, that's what that move is. And I think there's the reason I've got that line there is, yeah, that's that one there. That would have been a fun day. That's incredible, isn't it? Measure that move, look at that Fibonacci's right there. So we'll come back and test that, but it's not something I'd like to trade. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Yes, cycling along the 20, but if it tests this and bounce off the 20, then I might have a crack, but at this stage I'm rather not interested. You can see why. There's the Kiwi range bound. And you could look at that, if those of you who wanted to, as range reversal trade. There's no divergence, unfortunately. Which you need that divergence, but we've got fib resistance, we've got obviously the resistance level. Certainly something to keep an eye on. CAD, look, it's slightly lower. It's 84 and this is 83. If we see some selling, there could be an opportunity, but there's nothing to get in long yet, so you can't buy it. You'll be patient to sell it. US dollar strength. We've now had that cycle above the 50 EMA. We've got this buying bar. There is something we could look at tomorrow. $0.90. That 90 cents is quite strong. Remember that from the monthly. Way across here. So there's a potential long trade there. Now that we've done that cycle, taking a new cycle up. Similarly, this dollar yen, discussed the yen a couple of times. There was a potential trade there. There is that larger fib sitting up here. Yep. That 618 as resistance. Something to be concerned about. And the other thing is you've got to turn a pip stop That's also something to be concerned about on that. Let's go through the checklist. As I said today, it could be worth a look. It's a minor support line. Doesn't really turn on it much. Bounce off, you could say the 50, 20s, I think, a week. I've got into this back here, looking for it to get up to these highs. I'll probably get there now that I've got taken out somewhere. I can't remember, I got taken out over here somewhere. Yeah, it was that lower high, lower low. I got taken out 2 days lower. Probably missed a trade. We should have been trading today about 27, which is only 5 pips away. You can be patient and put a buy limit order there. And this one, like the CAD, is showing us divergence. All we need to see is sellers. And I don't know if you're going to get that with US dollar getting very strong as it is. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll make sure that this goes up straight away. And I'll see you in the course tomorrow down in Sydney, or I'll see you online here. The next one is, I believe the next one is on the 22nd, so a week away. Chat then.